Hi Sexy, I'm Lexi. Welcome back to my YouTube channel. So today I'm going to be teaching you guys how to make the best spaghetti squash on the actual entire planet. If you are a girlfriend, you're definitely gonna get a ring on your finger with this one, I swear to God. I've made it for my boyfriend, he's obsessed with it. It's so good. It's so protein packed, it's just absolutely amazing. Also, welcome to the Sexy Cooking channel, where I teach you any kind of recipe to get a ring on your finger. You're welcome, thank me later. So right in front of us, obviously, we have all of the ingredients. So I have a Italian sausage that I'm going to add to our ground beef. Then I have the spaghetti squash that I already cooked up and peeled, so it's ready to go. We have some garlic. I have some minced up mushrooms because that's just gonna give us some extra protein. Then I have some cottage cheese in here, again, some more protein. Then I'm a big fan of trying to make my own spaghetti sauce. Sometimes it's obviously easier to just get it out of the can, but if you're gonna be really like homemaking things, I think it's the best idea to just like fully make your own sauce. So I got some tomato paste. That's gonna go with everything, obviously. And then I can't pick up this pan right now because I did just take it out of the oven, but I roasted some, I don't know what kind of tomatoes they're called. So, I mean, I'm not a professional. I mean, this is a cooking show, but like not that professional of a cooking show, okay? Not yet, not yet. And then some onions, and what we're gonna do is we're gonna blend them up to make a sauce. So, oh yeah, salt, seasoning salt, Italian salt, or what, girl? Okay, Italian seasoning. Then I also have some black cracked pepper, and then bay leaves. You need to have bay leaves. And then if you're like me and you like a little bit of spice in your life, I have some red chili flakes. Yeah, without further ado, let's get into it, boo. We're gonna start off with adding our cooked veggies into, oh, you can't even see me, but you can hear me talking. We're gonna start off by putting our cooked veggies into our blender because we wanna blend them up to make it a sauce. Because yes, we are using tomato paste, but still blending those things together in one sauce, it just, oh my God, so good. Oh, here he is. We have to make the Cheeto appearance. I mean, would it even be a Sexy Lexi cooking video if this little guy wasn't in it? No. If you said yes, you're totally wrong. Let me get back on track. The ADHD is ADHDing, you know? I roast them just in a little bit of olive oil. Here, I'll even like bring it up to the camera actually. I just roast them in a little bit of olive oil, salt and pepper, and that's literally it. And then I put them in the oven at 375 for, I think maybe it was like 20 minutes. Honestly, I lost track of time. I actually could not fully tell you. Here we go, proper tomato. Sometimes, the last time I made it, I had to blend them like twice because, oh no, I lost an onion. Last time it was too big and it was too full is what I'm trying to say. But this time it's not, so that's perfect. And we're just gonna put this on the magic bullets. Look at how delicious that looks, like are you kidding me? Get your big sauce pot. You always want to make sure that you're cooking with nice pots because what's the point in using nice ingredients if you're not using nice pots and pans? Oh God. Oh, Jesus. Holy moly. That was so, it was a lot harder than I expected it to be to open, but that's okay. Let's see what it tastes like. Oh my God. I'm gonna go ahead and crack open a can of tomato paste. Obviously tomatoes, when you cook them down, they become quite watery. It's not the end of the world, it's just good to remember because your sauce might be just a little liquidy, but I personally like a liquidy sauce. I like the wetness. I don't know. What? It's a good thing I'm not cooking in white like I was in my last video. With tomato paste, what I like to do is add a little bit of chicken broth. That's kind of like a little hack that you can do instead of adding water, so it adds a little bit more flavor. Okay, add in your cottage cheese. I like to blend my cottage cheese. Obviously, you can just 100% skip this step. You do not have to add cottage cheese. I just really like to add it because I want the extra protein, because that's important to me, especially because I don't have a ton of ground beef and meat in here. Obviously, I want to have as much protein as I possibly can when I'm eating this. So that to me is something that is important, but it's not important to everyone. So get my chicken broth. Just gonna add a little bit in here. You don't want to add a ton, just enough to give it that flavor since you added the water in there. Now that we have all the liquids in here, I'm gonna bring you over to the stove. Welcome to my stove. So we're gonna turn it on to, I'm gonna do the triple and I'm gonna do about medium heat for the moment. And now we're gonna start adding all of our spices in there. Add some salt. This would be better to use, yeah, this side. I don't wanna add a ton of salt because salt is something that you can individually put in afterwards anyways. And sometimes salt just, I feel like, ruins it. Like, it just becomes way too salty, and you just don't want that, obviously. That's gross. Give that a quick stir. We're gonna add in some black pepper. Again, all the spices are to your taste. Like, whatever you like, you add it to your flavors. You add it to the way that you like the taste of it. Red chili flakes. Because I do like spice. Spice is something that I enjoy. Spice not everybody enjoys, so, you know, make sure that you're cooking to the way that the people that you're feeding like. So if they like spicy, make it maybe a little spicy. If you like spicy, you make it spicy, like, you know what I mean? Then we're gonna add some Italian seasoning. This is what's gonna give it that spaghetti flavor. So you can add a lot of that, a little bit of it, whatever you like. Now I'm gonna add in some garlic. I'm just using the back of my spoon here to add this in here. Last but not least, we're just going to add in our mushrooms. Oh my God. That's tasting absolutely amazing. And sorry, the actual last but not least step for the sauce is you're gonna add in your bay leaves. So I like to make sure that I get bay leaves that aren't gonna break, because you're just gonna put them in there and you're gonna let it simmer for however long you like. I like to usually let my sauce simmer for like an hour-ish. In the meantime, though, what we're gonna be doing is cooking our meat and then adding our meat in here. So, yeah. Again, that's what's cool about cooking is it's not as strict as baking. Like with baking, you're like, it's very specific. You need certain measurements and all that kind of stuff. With cooking, it's not at all like that. So you can just kind of do you. And we are just gonna plop that on here for a little bit. I like to clean as I go because it just makes me not so overwhelmed at the end of everything. We need this fun tool, our pot and our meat. I'm just gonna start by putting the Italian sausage in here. Plop that in there. Once you get our ground beef, plop that in there. Obviously rinse your hands after. Now what we're gonna do is you're gonna use this kind of like, I don't know what tool this is, but it's really great for making tacos or just like anything to do with beef and stuff because it really squishes them all up, makes it nice and small. And that's how I like my beef to look. I like to make it really minced in my sauce. And then I'm just gonna add some olive oil in here so that we don't burn our meat because that's not fun. I only cook with olive oil. I do not like any other oils. I'm super weird about seed oils and all those kinds of things. So I don't like to do anything else other than olive oil. Okay, our sauce is going. We're gonna do it on medium. Okay, then I'm just gonna add the regular spices to it. So I'm just gonna add a little bit of black pepper here, Italian seasoning, and salt. Again, it's a theme. I really like to have my meat flavored as well because when you bite into a piece of meat, it's gonna taste a certain way. So that's why I like to do that. Our lid is farting over here. It's making all the sounds. Guys, who decided that I was gonna cook today in a freaking long sleeve? Ugh, it's hot. We're just gonna continue to do this for a bit, and then what I'll do is I'll come back when everything is kind of getting ready to go, and we'll plate it all together, because for this one, I'm gonna use it more as a meal prep than I am just like an actual everyday meal. So I'm gonna show you guys how I meal prep it and put it in the fridge, or the freezer. Okay, y'all, so the meat sauce is officially done. So now what we're gonna do is we're just gonna plate it into its containers so that I can put it in the freezer. So I have 4 containers that I'm going to use for sure, and then I think I'm also gonna make an extra 2. So I like using glass containers, especially because when I'm away at working, I don't want to bring plates and bowls and stuff, so bringing those is the perfect thing. Me and Cheeto were just cuddling on the couch, so he's a little bit, he's following me around at the moment. Is he following me around? Do, 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 beep, beep. You're so sweet. So I have those ones because I like to use those when I'm away at work, obviously. And then I also have these 2 containers that I got when I used to, when you get takeout from Cactus Club and things like that, you can get these containers and they actually work really well and you can reuse them. It smells amazing. Oh, here it is. I don't know if you guys can see, but like, bomb. So what I'm gonna start by doing, I'm just gonna show you guys plating one and we'll try it together, and then I'll just go ahead and end the video and plate the rest of them. I'm just gonna take some scoops of my spaghetti squash. So let's kind of fill it up in there. I like using spaghetti squash instead of actual noodles because I find that it's more filling and you get that fiber from the veggies. So there we go. Then where's my ladle? Here she is. We'll take some ladles of sauce. There's a bay leaf. I like the more sauce, the better, but it's up to you and however you like it. Like when I'm at restaurants personally, I'll be like, can I have more sauce? But it's up to you and your personal preference. But let's give her a try. I'm just going to poke some holes in it so the sauce kind of gets inside of those noodles. Cheeto's trying to eat my spaghetti squash, so hopefully that's not bad for cats. Cheers. You guys, you need to make this at home. You're going to love it. I really hope you guys enjoyed watching my homemade spaghetti squash, the sexy edition. And if you guys want any other particular recipes, I obviously have a bunch in mind, but you just go ahead and comment down below and I'll make them for you. Thank you guys so much for watching. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. Go ahead and follow me on all my other socials and we'll see you later. Bye, sexy.